Welcome to Play Arkham. This is the first episode and we are going to tackle the Night of the Zealot campaign and part 1, The Gathering. We're running a new game. We are going to run on standard difficulty and just one player. I thought about playing for 2 players, but it takes more time and it's better to get ahead of the story. It's going to be a bit difficult because player has their pros and cons, so we have to settle for all-around character. And perhaps we are going to run. Well, Roland is an all-round character. He is quite adept at fighting. He has strength of 4, and you are going to do a lot of investigations. And he has a lore of 3. And he is a bit more efficient when it comes to finding clues if there are enemies around. Daisy, she's very good at finding clues, but not so when it comes to battling the enemy. So I think she's going to have a hard time by herself. Schizo 2 is an all-round character and he's a candidate for this playthrough. Agnes, not so good at fighting or lore, but nah, I'm a skeptic. Wendy, I think I stick to Roland. He's an easy character, perhaps not so much fun to play, but if you're going to play a solo adventure, is definitely the one. We are going to run at the standard deck, so we are not going to customize it for now. So let's start the scenario. The Ghoul's Hunger. Friday, September 18, 1925, Arkham, Massachusetts. It is the end of a long and abnormally hot summer. The first hints of autumn beckon, but a heavy heat persists, relentless. A silent, unspoken anger grips the town. Tempers are short, and in the last week alone there have been numerous reports of townspeople coming to heated, violent blows with one another over simple misunderstandings. And now a call from James Hankerson. He claims to have found a dismembered body in his barn. Blaming the weather would be too easy. There's something wrong with this town, and not a whole lot of this would soothsayer can do to stop the slide. My auguries indicate a small group of investigators will soon take note of these strange happenings and set forth to make things right. I'll be watching their progress, but I won't be holding my breath. Great. Scenario part 1. The Gathering. You and your partners have been investigating strange events taking place in your home city of Arkham, Massachusetts. Over the past few weeks, several townspeople has mysteriously gone missing. Recently, their corpses turned up in the woods, savage and half-eaten. The police and newspapers have stated the wild animals are responsible, but you believe there is something else going on. You are gathered together at the lead investigator's home to discuss these bizarre events. Okay, let's start by reading the agenda. What's going on? It is late at night. You are holed up in your study, researching the bloody disappearances that have been taking place in the region. A few hours into your research, you hear the sound of strange chanting coming from your parlor down the hall. At the same time, you hear dirt churning as if something were digging beneath the floor. And what about the act? Trapped. As you leap to investigate, the door to your study vanishes before your eyes, leaving behind only solid wall. trapped inside your study until you can find another way out. So we are in the study, and you've been investigating the strange events occurring in Arkham for several days now. Your desk is covered in newspaper articles, police reports, and witness accounts. And the door to your study has vanished. So we need to find a way out, and we do that by investigating the study. What do we have for resources? We have the magnifying glass. That's a good thing for Roland, since he isn't too adept at lore. We could do some physical training. What will help us if we are doing willpower and strength tests. The flashlight is good. The study isn't too difficult to investigate, so perhaps I'll save that for later. Emergency cache, good card to have later on, perhaps. Machete, it's a fight weapon. Well, it's a good mix, and I think I start by running this. We are now in the investigation phase of the round one, and Roland has 3 actions. So his first action is to investigate or put this magnifying glass into play, and this card costs 1 asset or one resource. So we put that 1 aside and put this in play. This will give him an extra lore when he is investigating. His next action would be to try to investigate the study. He has 3 in lore, and with the magnifying glass he will get another point while investigating. So that's 4 versus the shroud value of the study, which is 2. So let's try that. We draw a new token from the chaos bag, and 0. That's a success. Yeah, and then we try another one. -1. That's also a success. Great, and he has done his actions, but he can use this. It costs no action to fulfill the requirements for this act card. So let's flip it. You notice that the edges of your newly purchased rug are tattered and mud-stained. Finding this odd, you shift the furniture aside and pull back the rug. To your surprise, you see the door leading out of your study. You slowly turn the knob, and the door swings open, revealing your hallway below. You jump through the doorway, landing on your feet on soft dirt. The door to the study slams shut above you. The smell of burning wood fills the narrow hall, intermingled with the scent of rotten decay. Okay, we got out of the study, so now we are going to put into play the set-aside hallway, cellar, and attic and parlor. We need to discard each enemy in the study and place each investigator in the hallway, and then remove the study from the game. Okay, so we add the hallway, attic, cellar, and parlor. We put the character in the hallway, and last we remove the study from the game. Great, now we are in the hallway. Okay, and what does the next act say? The barrier. A glowing barrier blocks the path to your parlor. As you move towards it, intense heat forces you to back away. Picking up a handful of dirt, you toss it at the barrier and watch in horror as the dirt incinerates. Perhaps there's something in the cellar or attic that can help. Objective: when the round ends, investigators in the hallway may, as a group, spend the requisite number of clues to advance. Okay, we have some new locations. We have the hallway. A moment of panic and disorientation strikes you strikes as you land up on the floor to the hallway. The world spins as if turned on its head. And since we are in the hallway, we can reveal the other side. The walls of your house are splattered with mud, and your hardwood floor is gone, replaced with a dirt path. Okay, no clues here, but we can from here go to the triangle, which is the attic, the cellar, which is the cross, or the parlor, which is the diamond one. The attic, we can check that out. The smell of rotten meat assaults your nostrils as you approach the attic stairs. Doesn't smell too good. The cellar then. The stairs leading down to your cellar are slick and they glisten with a thin layer of ice. And the parlor. The entrance to the parlor is blocked by a darkly glowing, unfathomable barrier. You cannot move into the parlor. You're unsure what would happen if you tried to cross the threshold of the strange barrier, but based on its extreme heat, you're sure as hell you don't want to try. Okay, so we cannot enter the parlor, but we can move into the attic or the cellar. But we don't have any actions left, so that's the end of the investigation phase. Since we don't have any enemies for now, we can skip the enemy phase and head to the upkeep phase. Then we reset the actions with the play cards. We don't have any exhausted cards, but we can draw one card and gain one resource. What did we get? Dodge. Okay, good if you want to avoid some enemies. And we don't have the more than 8 cards, so the first round will end there, and we are heading into round 2. And here is where we advance the doom by placing 1 doom token on the agenda, and then Roland needs to draw an encounter card. Crypt Chill. Test willpower 4. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. Willpower. I think I will need that asset I control. Yes, I will rather not lose that one. So if I should do willpower of 4, I have only 3, so that means I need to get a +1. If I cannot, perhaps I think I'll commit both of those cards, since they have this willpower icon. It will give me a bonus of 1 per card, so I submit both of them, and then I can then I have 5 willpower for this test. So let's try versus. Not good. Okay, I failed. Choose and discard 1 asset you control. This is the only asset I control. I have other assets in my hand, but I don't control them. So discard that one. And then discard this card. Okay, that was the end of the Mythos phase. So let's head to either the attic or the cellar. Rotten meat or slippery stairs. I think I do go to the attic, and then we can flip this one. That's my first action. Forced. After you enter the attic, take 1 horror. The bloody carcass of a malformed beast swings from a meat hook chained to the ceiling. Blood drains slowly from the carcass, dripping into a small barrel. Okay. This only has 1 as the shroud value, so it's not so difficult to find clues here. So I think I'll start with finding clues. For my second action I use my lure of 3 and try it. 0. That's a success. Great. And my third action I will do the same. +1. Fantastic. Since this location I have detected all clues on this location, it will end up in my victory display, and it will grant me 1 victory point at the end of the scenario, which I can use to purchase better cards with. So that's my 3 actions. I can't do anything more. So the enemy phase, we don't have any enemies, so let's go to the upkeep phase and give me a new card. First aid. Okay. Sorry, I forgot I need to get a horror, since that's what happened when I entered the attic. Hand sizes are good, and round 3 begins. 1 doom on the agenda, and draw an encounter card. Grasping hand. Revelation tests agility. For each point you fail by, take 1 damage. Okay, I have 2 in agility, but I have also a large amount of health, and I don't have any cards that will boost my agility. So let's try agility -1. That reduces my 2 in agility to 1, and testing versus 3, I fail by 2, so I get 2 damage. Perhaps I should do some self-medication. Could be handy. Just discard this card, and then the Mythos phase ends. Okay, I think I'll buy this first aid card. No, I'll wait. I'll move into the hallway, that's 1 action, and then I move into the cellar, that's another action. Okay, cellar. What's in here? Forced. After you enter the cellar, take 1 damage. Your cellar seems to have been replaced with an underground network of icy tunnels and caverns. The cold shields you to the core. Okay, 1 damage. I still need 1 more clue to unlock this barrier. But this is a difficult room with a shroud value of 4, but luckily I have my flashlight. So for my third action, I think I'll purchase this flashlight. It costs 2 resources, 1, 2, and I put it into play, and there it gains 3 supplies, 1, 2, 3, so I can use the flashlight 3 times. And that was all my 3 actions. So that's the end of the investigation phase. No enemies, and head to the upkeep phase, and we get a new card. Evidence. After you defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at your location. Okay, but we don't have any enemies yet, so hand sizes are good, and round ends. And now, place 1 doom and the agenda. That will force the agenda to advance. Your house continues to change before your very eyes. The walls have decayed, and the ground in many rooms has turned to dirt. It is almost as if you have been transported somewhere else entirely, although every now and again you recognize elements of your former home. The lead investigator must decide. Choose 1. Either each investigator discards 1 card at random from his or her hand, or the lead investigator takes 2 horror. Okay, I think I'll randomize a card and discard it. Yeah, Those are all cards are good to have, but I would not take too much damage if I can avoid it. Pick a random card. Oh, the evidence. Okay. Get rid of that one. Okay, the next card. Agenda 2A. Rise of the Ghouls. The floor beneath you is giving way, and you see a vast network of tunnels twisting into the darkness below. Shapes and silhouettes of strange creatures move swiftly through the tunnels, trying to find a way up. You probably don't want to be here when they do. Probably not. So I have some 7 rounds before this next agenda occurs. Then I need to draw an encounter card. Ravenous Ghoul. Oh, the sight of this thing raised the question, do we eat to live or do we live to eat? Okay. This ghoul will appear in my location in the cellar, and it will be put in my threat area, so it's attached to me. And that's the end of the Mythos phase, and now we can try to do something. I think this Ravenous Ghoul has 3 hit points and a strength of 3. And if I hit it 3 times and succeed, it will be gone. But I think I will benefit from this machete, since it will give me a bonus of 1. And if the enemy is the only one engaged with me, the attack deals +1 damage. So that will help me take him out in 2 attacks instead of 3. So my first action is to buy this asset and put it into play, and then I'll attack the Ravenous Ghoul with my machete, and that will give me a strength of 5 versus his strength of 3. So my first attack, 0, that's a hit, and that will give him 2 damage. And then I try to hit him again. 0, 2 more damage. Yep, but he only can take 1 more, so he's gone. And after I defeat an enemy, discover 1 clue at my location once per round. Great! So we discard this enemy and we discover 1 clue at my location. And that's all for his actions, so go to the enemy, but no enemies exist for the now, and just continue here, and let's see what card we draw. Medical text. We can try to heal ourselves, and the 4th round ends. Mythos phase, 1 doom, and draw an encounter card. A new monster. This one is a bit harder. Inside the tunnels beneath the house, a massive beast tears its way out of the ice. It's covered in a thick layer of frost, its breath visible in the bitter cold. Okay, he spawns at the cellar, where we are. Okay. Not good. And I think he'll go into my threat area immediately. So that's the end of the Mythos phase. And then, yeah, my choices are limited. I think if I defeat this one, like I did before, I'll get the remaining clue without trying to investigate the location at all. That would be great. So I use my machete and try to attack the icy ghoul. First attempt, -1, and I have 5 versus 3, and that's a success, so it will give him 2 damage. The second attempt, -2. Yes, it's precisely a hit. 5 minus 2 is 3 versus his 3, so this will bring him to down, and he will put in the discard pile, plus it will grant me a token after I defeat an enemy. Discover 1 clue. And if we check the victory display, I have both the attic and the cellar cleared, and the icy ghoul gave me another victory point. This looks to be a promising round. So I have done 2 things, and then my third action would be to move back into the hallway again. So now I am in the hallway, and I could spend the clues to advance. I could also try to heal myself and prepare for the next part. I have some damage. It's not so, but I think I'll wait a bit. So let's go to the enemy phase and then the upkeep phase. See what card I get. I get the 45 automatic. Great, this is a good gun. And yeah, it's the same as the machete, but it works with multiple enemies, so it depends on the situation. And that's the end of the 5th round. So let's place another Doom on the agenda, and then draw another encounter card. Dissonant Voices. Put it into play in your threat area. You cannot play assets or events. Too bad. That was the thing I was trying to do this round. Cannot play assets or events. I think I'll bide my time anyway. I think I need some more cards. So I draw 1 card. Beat Cup. Okay, Great Ally. That will give me some bonuses to hit. And I draw another card. 38 Special. This is good if I have clues on my location, if I should attack anyone, because it will give me +3 to attack. But otherwise it's the same. I have done 2 actions. If I'm going to buy these actions, or at least the first aid, that will cost me 2, and then the Beat Cup is a good asset. And that costs 4. And that's 6. So I think I'll take a resource and then it's done for it. So let's go to the upkeep phase. And I get the Vicious Blow. It will grant me another damage. Hand sizes are good, so let's go to the 7th round. Advanced Doom and draw an encounter. Yeah, at the end of your turn, the round, discard. Hope I don't get another one. So draw a new encounter card. Swarm of rats. Okay. Not so bad. The rats end up in my threat area. So now I am in the investigation phase. So I could attack the rats. And I think I'm going to buy some first aid and beat cop. Yeah. Beat cop costs 4. And he's an ally. And I can have an ally, that's good. And that costs 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll think I'll do the first aid as well. That costs 2. 1, 2. I'll put that in play. It has 3 supplies. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and for my last action, I think, yeah, I'll attack those former rats using the machete. And the beat cup will give me +1, and the machete also +1, so I have 6 versus 1. It should be impossible to miss. Okay, the tablet, and if we check the reference card, it's -2, and this is no ghoul, so it's a swarm of rats, so I get no damage. But -2 versus 6 versus -2, that's 4, and he has 1, so that's a hit, and he takes his only damage and is discarded. So that's his 3 actions. Enemies are gone. Upkeep. Let's see which card we get. Guts. Willpower test can come in handy. And the round ends. So let's go. Oh, sorry. I'll go back here. And now I would like to, when the round ends, investigators in the hallway may, as the group, spend the requisite number of clues to advance. So I think I'll do that this time. I have been preparing a bit now. So 1, 2, 3. And let's flip this side. Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow from the cellar and hurl it at the barrier. The barrier sparks and shudders as it consumes the ice, then hisses and fades out of existence. The barrier blocking passage into the parlor has vanished. Reveal the parlor. Okay. Let's reveal the parlor. This will introduce 2 new actions. I can resign and run out of the front door, fleeing panic, and Lita, I can go and talk to her. Let's see. Put the set aside Lita Chandler into play at the parlor. Lita Chandler in the parlor, and while you control Lita Chandler, she gains +1, and when an investigator at your location successfully attacks a monster enemy, that deals +1 damage. Okay, spawn the set aside ghoul priest in the hallway. Okay, he spawns in the hallway and then he will move into my threat area. And he has 5 hit points and 4 to attack. That won't be too difficult for me. I have buffed up with the machete and the beat cup, so I'm already at +2. That will give me advantage over him, I think. That's the end of that one. Let's see the next. What have you done? A woman with a torch stands in the parlor, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. What have you done to my barrier? She screams, furious. Before you can answer, A ghostly wail sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the wall, advancing towards you. Objective: if the ghoul priest is defeated, advance. Okay, defeat the ghoul priest, that's my objection. Objective: defeat the ghoul priest, that's my objective. So, let's see. Let's the upkeep phase. One doom on the agenda, and then draw an encounter card. Obscuring fog. Attached to your location. Limit 1 per location. +2 shroud. Okay, that was the best card I can draw for now, I think. So let's head to the investigation phase. Roland, what are you going to do? You are going to attack the priest. I could do this one. The vicious blow. I think I'll commit that to the skill test. So that will give me an additional +1. I could also go into the parlor and try to parlay, but then I would need to evade, and I'm not so good at evading the enemy. So I think I just smack him instead. So I submit that card, which will grant me another damage and another bonus to strength test. So that's a total of 3. Let's try. -4. That's 3 versus his 4, and that's a failure. Too bad. The vicious blow is gone. Let's try another one. I think I'll submit this card this time. I'll try it again. And the ghoul is -X. And we have one ghoul at my location, the ghoul priest, so it's -1. But since I submitted that, I have 7 versus -1, that's 6 versus the ghoul priest, 4. So that's a hit, and I give him 2 damage. Okay, so that's my second action, and my third action is... should I hit him again? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll submit this card as well. I commit it and try once more. -4, and it's a miss. It's not going so well with the chaos bag for now. So let's go to the enemy phase. And he is a hunter. No, he isn't. Yeah, he is. But he has already engaged me. So he will attack me and give me 2 damage and 2 horror. I could assign some damage to the beat cup, but I'll spare him for the time being. Okay, and that's the end of the enemy phase. So let's draw a new card. Let's see what that was. Working a hunch. Okay, discover clues, not so good this time. And the round ends. 1 doom on the agenda. It's starting to get close. And draw an encounter card. Crypt Chill. If you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. Okay, I have the flashlight, which I don't need, so it's not so difficult if I... but I could commit this one, and then I can draw another card. I'll wait with that one. Let's try willpower 4. I need to get a +1 if I should succeed. No, it's a -1 instead. So I discard a flashlight, and then the encounter is done. Now we are going to attack the ghoul again. He has 3 more hit points to go, and I'll just... Yep, I'll attack him. -1, that's 6, -1, that's 5, versus his 5, and that will give him 2 more damage. And then another attack. -3, 6, -3, that's 3, and that's less than his 4, so that's a miss. So I need -2 is a success. No success either, so he has done his part, and let's go to the enemy phase. And he gives me some damage. And this time I'll assign 1 horror to the beat cup, and 1 to me, and 1 damage to the beat cup, and 1 to me. So if he attacks me once more, I'll be a lunatic. So let's not make that happen. So go to the upkeep phase, set actions, and draw a new card. Guts. Okay. Hand size and round ends. The doom advances. Okay, I would like to finish this Goopers now. Draw an investigator card. Frozen in Fear. Put Frozen in Fear into play in your threat area. First time you perform one of the following actions: move, fight, or evade. It's cost an additional action. Okay, this is in my threat area. So if I should now attack him, as my first action, it costs 2 actions. But I think I'll do that anyway, because I want him gone. Do I have any? I don't have any cards I could submit, so let's do this. -3, it's a miss. Okay, then I have another solution. He only needs 1 damage more, so I'll use this play window action and discard him, and that will deal 1 damage to an enemy at my location. So I discard this one, and this one will get 1 more damage, and he is gone. And we discard him, and if the ghoul priest is defeated, advanced. I have 1 more action, and see if I need to use that one. But let's flip this card. When the robed creature falls, the fiendish form burrows back into the ground, and the chaos of the house quiets. But the stranger in your parlor doesn't seem relieved. You broke my seal that was set to trap the ghouls within. She raises her torch. Now we must take more direct measures and burn this hell pit into the ground. The lead investigator must decide. Choose one. It was never much of a home. Burn it down. This hell pit is my home. No way we are burning it. Okay, what should we choose? I think I'll skip the house. I didn't need the dirt path in the hallway or the workroom in the ceiling and stuff. So burn it down. Yeah, I say that. So let's go to the end scenario. Burn it down. Was it resolution 1? Yeah. You nod and allow the red-haired woman to set the walls and floor of your house ablaze. The fire spreads quickly, and you run out of the front door to avoid being caught in the inferno. From the sidewalk, you watch as everything you own is consumed by the flames. "Come with me," the woman says. "You must be told of the threat that lurks below. Alone, we are surely doomed, but together we can stop it." Okay, we have 2 locations and 2 enemies. That will give us some victory points and in that experience. So we could record in our campaign log that the house is burned to the ground. The lead investigator suffers 1 mental trauma from watching his or her house become a smoldering ruin. Each investigator earns 5 victory points for completed locations and defeated enemies, and 2 bonus experience points as he or she gains insight into the hidden world of the mythos. So in the campaign log we can see Roland Banks. He has 7 experience and has completed the first scenario, and the house was burned to the ground. We also earned the Lita Chandler asset, and we gain a mental trauma. Okay, so the next time we are going to head to scenario 2, and that's part 2, the Midnight Masks. And for the experience, 7 experience points, we can buy some new cards. We could perhaps buy some extra ammunitions or police badge +1, willpower, okay, more extra actions, speed cup. It has some more hit points here. Shotgun, +3 attack, and instead of standard from 1 to 5. Okay, that one is good. Only 2 ammo though, so we need to use it on the right subject. We also have some higher seeker cards that allows us to discard an enemy. Encyclopedia. More bulletproof vest for extra damage. I think the Elder Sign is more interesting. I think I'll buy this one, but I need to remove some card. The manual dexterity, I think I reduce it by 1, and then I buy the Elder Sign amulet because he doesn't have so much in sanity, so let's buy that one. And then I have 4 experience left, so perhaps I should remove one of the other ones. I think I remove a knife. Yeah, a knife, and take the shotgun instead. So now I have used all my experience points by buying the Elder Sign amulet and the shotgun. So now I'm ready for the next scenario, but that would be another episode.